Welcome to Happy Death Day. 2 million people. Not for a king, not for a war hero, not for a rock star, for a writer. February 26, 1885. Paris didn't just mourn. Paris shut down. They laid his body under the Arc de Triomphe like he conquered Europe with a pen instead of a sword. This is the story of Victor Hugo, the man who wrote pain into poetry, turned exile into a bestseller, and died so legendary the city needed crowd control in 1885. Let's cook. Victor Hugo wasn't born in struggle. Born February 26, 1802, poetic already. His dad? A general under Napoleon. His mom? Royalist. So baby Victor basically grew up in a political group chat that never stopped arguing. Imagine Thanksgiving dinners like, "Napoleon is the future." "No, monarchy forever." Baby Hugo in the corner like, "I'm writing all this down." And that right there, that tension, that drama, that's fuel. By his teens, Hugo was already publishing poetry. By 20, winning awards. By 30, France was like, yeah, this dude different. Then he drops The Hunchback of Notre-Dame. Suddenly, Notre-Dame Cathedral goes from old church to tourist attraction with a tragic backstory. Quasimodo? Esmeralda? Bro turned architecture into heartbreak. He literally saved the cathedral's reputation with a novel. That's influence. Now, let's not pretend he was some saint. Victor Hugo loved two things deeply. 1. Literature. 2. Women. And not always in that order. He had a wife. He had a long-term mistress. He had extracurricular activities. Man wrote about tragic love because he was conducting field research. Dark humor moment? France is out here reading pure romance, while Hugo is juggling situationships like it's the 1800s NBA. Now, here's where it gets spicy. France goes through political chaos, revolutions, power shifts. Napoleon III steps in. Hugo says, "Oh, we doing dictatorship now?" Bet. He publicly opposes Napoleon III. And guess what happens? Exile. Boom. He gets kicked out of France. Imagine being so loud with your opinions the government says, "You gotta go." Hugo moves to the Channel Islands. Instead of sulking, he levels up. Out there, staring at the ocean like a dramatic anime protagonist, he writes Les Misérables. Yeah, that book. Jean Valjean, Javert, Cosette, revolution, redemption, misery. He took suffering and made it cinematic before cinema existed. Fun fact, that novel was over 1,400 pages. Bro said, "You wanted a book? I'm giving you a universe." But here's the part that hits different. His daughter Leopoldine drowned at 19. He found out days later. That grief? It wrecked him. A lot of Hugo's darker poetry? That pain is real. Not dramatic for sales. Not aesthetic sadness. Real grief. When you read his later work, you're reading a father who lost his child. That changes a man. Napoleon III falls. France changes again. And Victor Hugo returns home. Not quietly, triumphant. The exile comes back like, "You missed me?" He's no longer just a writer. He's a symbol, a moral voice, a literary OG. People listen when he speaks. By his 70s and 80s, Hugo isn't just famous, he's untouchable. He's that guy. His 80th birthday? National celebration. France basically said, "Yeah, you're ours." He outlived enemies, outlived critics, outlived political regimes. That's dominance. February 26, 1885. He dies at 83, peacefully. But what happens next? That's the wild part. 2 million people. Let that sink in. In 1885, no social media, no live stream, no trending hashtags, just word of mouth and impact. His body lies in state under the Arc de Triomphe. Then he's buried in the Pantheon, France's Hall of Immortals. For a writer, not a king, not a general, a writer. That's power. Here's what makes Victor Hugo different. He didn't just tell stories. He fought systems. He challenged power. He got exiled for it. He buried his child. He kept writing. And when he died, the city stopped. That's legacy. That's influence without Wi-Fi. Imagine telling Hugo in exile, "Bro, relax, it's just politics." Meanwhile, history like, "Nope, you're about to write the most dramatic book ever and become a national treasure." Man got kicked out of France, came back, and then France threw him the biggest funeral of the century. That's the ultimate, "they gonna miss me when I'm gone." February 26, 1885. Victor Hugo. Happy Death Day. Subscribe for tomorrow's Death Day. And remember, death is guaranteed. History is optional.